VMware Explore Barcelona Day 2, big day filled with announcements, and it just seems like the other day, John, we were in Vegas, and the big news was VMware Cloud Foundation 5.0. And of course the big story there was like, wow, simplified migration. We can migrate now and a better upgrade experience. And here we are again talking to Anu Kirpekar, and we're talking about VMware Cloud Foundation 5.1.
Yeah, it's absolutely great to be here again, Pete and John. I feel like we just announced 5.0, but believe it or not, today, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7th of November is the GA for 5.1.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So we're not just announcing, we're announcing and shipping, the real announcement.
The real announcement. This morning at the keynote, I was able to say that we are actually shipping today.
So VMware Cloud Foundation 5.1, obviously a huge release, a big overhaul in terms of the migration capabilities now compared to like a full upgrade experience, and just a simplified installation. A lot of folks, we've heard great feedback about it. What exactly is in 5.1 now?
Yeah. I mean, obviously with 5.0, we focused a lot on operations and upgrades and ability to manage fleets at scale, at larger scale. With 5.1, we've taken that a step further. We're adding even more improvements for upgrades, making it simpler, adding more fleet-level capabilities for operations. But really on the compute and storage and network side, we have some key innovations that we are bringing to 5.1. So let me start with the compute part, right? So essentially, AI/ML workloads typically need a lot of more GPU capacity. Now with 5.1, we are bringing 2 times the GPU capacity per VM.
Okay, so wait, I think originally it was 8, right?
Yeah, so now it's double of that.
Wow.
So
16 GPUs, but I'm trying to, I think I could cook food behind that server at that point. Like the thermal density on that's incredible.
Absolutely. No, it's a great innovation, and it's good for your AI/ML workloads, and with Gen AI also around the corner. There's more density that's going to be needed even for training large language models, doing inferencing, etc. But this is a good first step, great step for us. Let's also talk about a little bit about the storage innovations. So vSAN ESA, which is the Express Storage Architecture.
Yes.
Now we're bringing that to 5.1 to VCF, and you get 4x performance boost with that.
Yeah, we love talking about the ESA because the difference between the original storage architecture and the Express storage architecture, night and day. We've even heard some customers say 10x performance increase. That's not an official number. That's a customer saying is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
But there is a significant difference. It's a complete architecture overhaul for ESA. So that is fantastic.
Yeah, and think of it as now ESA is really the foundation that you need if you want to take advantage of all the features we're delivering, for the future, like vSAN Max, which is the disaggregated storage we talked about.
There's been a lot of interest in that this week. I feel like people have been coming after talking about how they're going to architect that in the discussions on thinking about how do I factor my workload domains around storage and be able to scale for those multi-petabyte data sets and things like that.
Absolutely. It's huge because they can now have disaggregated storage architecture for your highly data-intensive and storage-intensive workloads, but you can have the same manageability experience for your hyper-converged or your disaggregated, right? So it's a huge deal, and we're getting great feedback on that. But there's one big announcement I think I should talk about, which is also based on vSAN ESA.
Drum roll.
Drum roll. It's the VMware Data Services Manager.
Yes.
DSM, I love this. I love this
heard
product.
That in the general session as well. And we've had since the general session, we've probably had about 10 conversations about DSM.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely the buzz this week.
It certainly is. Would you like to hear more about it?
Yes, please.
Okay. So with more sort of digital transformation and AI/ML requirements, right? You can see that customers need to deploy more data services. And not just for databases.
I like how you say data services. I'm like, isn't it just a bunch of databases? Because when I built out the 1.4 lab, I was like, oh, this is Postgre, MySQL, really good, but what else?
Yeah, but you can imagine what a data service has to do beyond databases.
Yeah.
It needs to do caching. You need caching applications, caching services. You need warehousing. You need object storage-based data services.
Get my S3 coverage.
Exactly. You need streaming services. So there's all kinds of data services that are very relevant to today's modern applications, right? And imagine if there was one vendor like VMware, which is responsible for your infrastructure, also providing you a simple operational model for building and delivering your data services.
I mean, when I think about silos in the data center, the first thing that always comes to mind is, I've got my beautiful VMware estate, and I've got things, and there's always like this one weird, like, what's that? Oh, that's the DBA's own that.
Yeah, don't touch that.
yeah. But this sounds like it's as a platform being able to bring that into the fleet.
Absolutely right. So that's the word you use, platform. That's exactly it. It's a control plane. Yeah. It's a data services management platform control plane so that you can deliver not only infrastructure but also data services in a similar manner that our customers are used to consuming from. So think of what we've done for compute, storage, and network. Now we're doing it for data services.
So this is fun, and I know VMware, we have a lot of expertise on some of the databases already. Postgre we use everywhere.
Right.
We've got MySQL and DSM already. But also, as we expand out on compute, we don't make all the applications. We have partners. So what are some of the partnerships that have been announced around DSM? What's going on there?
Yes, so big announcements, 2 big partnerships. One is with Google for their Alloy DB Omni database. And they're going to offer it basically on VMware Cloud Foundation, partnering with us.
So previously I would have had to go to GCP to get that.
Yep.
And customers obviously, sometimes they need things on-prem for data sovereignty or other reasons.
Absolutely, yes. For data privacy in particular. Now the advantage with this partnership is if you compare the solution against a traditional Postgres, a huge difference. The benchmarks that they've seen, that Google has actually seen, is 2 times, better performance boost for traditional workloads, and 100 times.
Wow.
100 times performance benefit for analytical workloads.
Why is it so much? Like, what's the key difference? Is it the architecture?
I mean, you have to talk to Google about a lot of that.
What are they doing over there?
Alloy DB on VMware technology gives you that boost.
We've talked a lot about AI. Everybody has this week. It's obviously been a big topic, and there's so many different use cases. But I love the fact that VMware, has partners like Google that can really make the true private AI foundation a reality. Like that is something special.
I mean, think about, you have these private AI partnerships that we have with NVIDIA and now with IBM, right? And imagine that in that environment, you also have easily deployable lifecycle available for data services, right? In a uniform operational model. So that's great. And so that's not all, by the way. We have another partnership with MinIO.
Object storage. That's another one of those weird silos in my data center.
Exactly. So now imagine we can offer a data service for your object storage with the same operational model, and with MinIO, which is a premium
they have a lot of advanced health and
yes.
monitoring and operational tooling that they bring in experience, so we can jointly deliver that. And it's really been interesting because for a long time, if you needed just a place to put random bits of data for various utility or sorting, it might have gone to, either a database, a traditional database, or it might have gone to, well, I've got an NFS share that I just kind of throw stuff at. And it really feels like S3 has become the natural place everyone lands that stuff.
Absolutely, and for your unstructured data as well, right? It is the thing. It's basically the simple answer to unstructured and file storage and quick recovery and
having an on-prem object solution that's just as easy in the cloud.
Exactly.
And with all the capabilities.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Well, yeah, it makes sense that it's called Data Services Manager and not Database Services Manager because it does a whole bunch more than that. Yeah, that is actually, that's a great story. I think it's going to be something that most people are going to want to look into. Much like AI, that you come here, you get inspired, you learn new things, and you figure out how to put it into your environment. I think DSM is going to have that same level of influence. It's really good stuff. I want to thank you so much, Anu, for joining us this week. Enjoy the rest of your week in Barcelona.
Absolutely. For my first time here, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, in that case, bienvenido a España.
Gracias.
Take care.